Welcome Cancer to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. Today is December 3rd, 2019. This is a general love reading for the beginning of the month of December for the sign of Cancer. Because it's a general love reading, it can pertain to any kind of relationship you're dealing with. It can also pertain to situations or circumstances. As always, take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. Be flexible with the energy. Don't be too concerned about the gender of the cards or the pronouns I'm using to describe them. You can interchange the roles within the reading. You might show up as any one of the characters represented in the cards. You might feel like I'm reading directly for you, but you can also feel like you're cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with. My intention, as always, is to reach as many people as I can who need the message the most and who will benefit from the message. So I am going to get started with you after a shuffle or two more. Cancer, we're going to see what's going on with you for the beginning of the month of December. General love reading. Here we go. All right, in your underlying energy, we're going to start with the Seven of Wands in reverse, paired with the Two of Swords. We have Justice with the Queen of Cups in reverse, the King of Cups in reverse, Wheel of Fortune, we have the Lovers in reverse, and the Five of Cups in reverse. Well, I see disharmony in relationship, and I don't think you even need to be a tarot reader to see. We've got the Queen. I'm going to go ahead and talk about this first set without shuffling my next one because there's an obvious message here, and I think you guys can see it too. So we have a true pair on the board, as Water Baby would say. By the way, if you've never watched her channel, Water Baby Tarot, she's fantastic. So she calls the matching court cards true pairs, and I do feel like this is definitely a romantic relationship that we're dealing with here. The King and Queen of Cups in reverse. We have the Queen of Cups paired with Justice, and we have the King of Cups paired with the Wheel of Fortune. So there's some disharmony in this relationship. There's some heartache. There's a possible breakup on the board. This could be a significant other, a spouse. This is someone who is a significant relationship to you. Lovers in reverse with Five of Cups, and there's definitely some grief. You might be in the process of healing. You may be in the process of trying to make a decision that has to be made. This could be an unhappy relationship where you need to decide where to go from here. Are we going to sever this relationship? Are we going to try to make it work? A decision has to be made. There's no question about that. It's not going to be a pleasant decision. But it's one that's justified and the right thing to do because there is disharmony in this relationship. Now, the Queen of Cups in reverse can be someone who is just feeling a significant amount of remorse, sadness, grief, heartache. Someone who is feeling removed from their emotions, feeling a lack of hope, feeling a certain amount of despair. The King of Cups in reverse can be someone who is who's an emotional manipulator, someone who's also removing their emotions out of the equations or is not feeling the love for their partner. It feels mutual regardless with both of you in reverse. I do feel Cancer, and I haven't decided yet which one of these people you are. You can pick your role. It really doesn't matter. You're either the Queen of Cups or the King of Cups, and we'll see if there's any other energies that come up. But I have a feeling this is going to be a two-person reading for obvious reasons. So let's get some more cards on the table and see what else we have for you. So we have the High Priestess clarifying the Seven of Wands in reverse. And we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse clarifying the Two of Swords. Three of Wands in reverse, clarifying justice. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse, clarifying the Queen of Cups. Six of Swords, clarifying the King of Cups. Four of Cups, clarifying the Wheel of Fortune. The Lovers in reverse is clarified by the Page of Pentacles. And Ace of Cups, clarifying the Five of Cups in reverse. So this looks like it's a decision that you two are making. Sorry, I'm sitting on my shirt and it's like pulling on the back of my neck. Very uncomfortable. Okay. This feels like a situation where the two of you are determining, I think, who's going to broach the topic that this relationship isn't working and needs to end, or this relationship has already ended and you're working through what happened, trying to determine what went wrong, if there's anything left to salvage. Ten of Pentacles in reverse can indicate divorce, can indicate disruption in a family dynamic, so there could potentially be children involved. You do have the Page of Pentacles on the board. This is neither one of you wanted this. Neither one of you wanted to see the end of this relationship. If this is a definitive ending, again, I feel like there's a sense that's maybe the words haven't been spoken yet, or trying to determine who's going to say they want the divorce. There could be, a significant amount of assets between the two of you that you're not looking forward to having to split up. Divorce can be very messy. This could be a situation where you're trying to decide who's to blame for the end of the relationship, who caused this. You both want the end. I mean, it feels mutual. It definitely feels mutual. And I think you also both know that the other person wants it. So playing the blame game, like who did what to who, or who's the reason for the breakup of the relationship. I feel like this king has been probably pretty apathetic about ending this, even though maybe it's been on his mind for quite a while. That this just came to a point in time where he was stuck with deciding that he has to make a decision because it's not going anywhere. I think you both went into this with high hopes, with the hope that this was going to be a relationship that would last the test of time, that would be a forever relationship. You may have, or are currently trying to see if there's anything left to salvage, trying to see, even after a significant amount of heartache and grief within the relationship, that maybe there's something that you can salvage out of this relationship. I do feel, Cancer, you're the Queen of Cups, and again, you can interchange the roles. You could be either one. Both of the energies are equally strong in this reading. The King of Cups feels stuck. The King of Cups feels like he can't move on. He wants to get, I think the King of Cups wants to get out now, but there's too much invested in this relationship just to pick up and go. And he doesn't want to deal with it. There's a lack of motivation wanting to deal with this breakup. Again, if it's a breakup between two people who have been together for a significant amount of time and there's marriage involved, there's a marriage contract, and again, assets that need to be split up, possibly a home, maybe children that you need to deal with. Take it from someone who's gone through 2 divorces, and I'm not proud of that, but divorce is hard, and there's a lot that you have to deal with, and it's not fun for anybody. But I do feel like there's a sense that you want to make a decision on who's responsible for the end of this relationship, and frankly, I think it's equal, based on what I'm seeing in the cards. I think the Queen of Cups is mostly concerned about the legality part of the relationship, of splitting things up, making sure that she gets, you know, a fair and equitable outcome of this. If it's a divorce, she doesn't want to get leave without, you know, her fair share of what she's invested in this relationship and in this connection. And the King of Cups just doesn't want to deal with it. He feels stuck. He feels like he's just, with this Four of Cups, he's just like, I'm done. I'm so done with this. He just wants to walk away from it, leave it all behind. But there is also this feeling of not quite knowing what went wrong, or wanting to see if there's anything left, or should we see if there's anything left? Should we try to salvage this? Should we try to make it work? Let's see what else we get. So we have the Hanged Man, clarifying the Seven of Wands in reverse. We have the Six of Swords again in reverse. The sense of feeling stuck, like who's to blame, or who's the one who is brave enough to tell it like it is. This is a done deal. This is a relationship that's going nowhere. We have to make a decision now about what to do about it. Justice is clarified by Death in reverse. Queen of Cups is clarified by the Empress in reverse. King of Cups is clarified by the Knight of Swords. Fool in reverse. Knight of Cups again, this time in the upright position, and Queen of Cups in the upright position. Okay, let's take a look at these. So, again, I'm getting a feeling like there's a sense of needing to make a decision about who's to blame. Both of you are stuck in this mindset. I feel like it's mostly you, Queen of Cups, Cancer, that there is something in this about needing to determine who's to blame. Now, if you're in a messy divorce, you know, the judge will make decisions based on, you know, if someone cheated, or, you know, if someone didn't want the divorce versus someone who wants the divorce, that kind of thing. So I think there's a sense that, Queen of Cups, you want to make sure that we're clear on how this relationship is ending and how we're going to go about finishing this up, because you don't want to not receive your fair share, and you don't want to be looked at as trying to get more than what's deserved, that you deserve out of this relationship. This King of Cups may be representing you as someone who is selfish, maybe not just with your love, but with the money or the assets in the relationship. And again, I get the feeling that the Queen of Cups, that you are hanging on to this idea that you want justice in this outcome for you. This King of Cups does not feel like he knows what he's doing, or if he's taking any action at all, it's been harsh. His words have not been delivered in a very compassionate or neutral manner. I think this person feels like he is out for blood, that he probably feels like he is going to get the short end of the stick in this separation, this split up. And he is skeptical about trying to make things work. He's skeptical about seeing if with time, maybe you can have a new beginning, or try to work things out. It's possible, Cancer, with the King showing up as kind of being the skeptical one regarding this relationship, that maybe you've tried to make things work in the past. That you were the one who made an offer or tried to work things out because you thought maybe there was something left. Maybe there was some hope for this relationship. Trying to see if you can find the love that's left in this relationship. And again, kind of left feeling like you weren't able to obtain what you needed in order to make things work between the two of you. But I feel like the Queen of Cups is coming across as having made the effort, where this King of Cups is just wanting to walk away from it all. In a very harsh manner too. you know, I don't see in the cards, and this could be different for everybody, so I don't see in the cards necessarily who's at fault for the relationship, and generally speaking, it's not just one person. Whenever there's any kind of relationship, everybody plays a part in both the success and the failure of a relationship. It's not something that you can generally point the finger at one person. However, a lot of times too, there can be someone who is responsible for a bigger portion, or something that was, you know, so harsh within the relationship that it can't be ignored, or you can't deny that there was one person who has to take on the responsibility for what happened. I do feel like you're putting a lot of thought into this, because you may not feel like you have any way to defend yourself. Queen of Cups. I'm talking Queen of Cups right now, by the way. Stuck with this idea that this relationship is over, even though maybe you wanted to try to work on things. Let's see what else we get for you, Cancer. This is a pretty straightforward reading. I don't see a lot of fuzzy areas in this reading. I think it's pretty obvious what's going on here. So we have the Four of Wands in reverse. This can indicate a broken home, broken foundation, unstable relationship. Five of Swords, again, in your underlying energy. There's been a lot of fighting, a lot of conflict surrounding, I think, mostly just lost love. Maybe lost of respect for one another. Maybe the passion is gone. The intimacy might be gone out of this relationship. That can certainly drive a wedge in between two people. We have the Two of Wands. Ace of Wands in reverse. Hierophant in reverse. This can also indicate divorce. This is in the King's energy. Broken contracts. Judgment in reverse. Three of Cups. And the Eight of Wands. Okay, so I'm going to get one last around with these cards, but it is evident based on what's out here right now, Cancer, that as the Queen of Cups, and again, I'm talking to you, but you can interchange the roles. Queen of Cups has made an effort to try to reunite or try to get things going again, but there's been a lack of communication, a lack of willingness, a lack of making an effort. The King of Cups doesn't feel like it's a good idea and feels like this relationship is over. There's nothing left to be salvaged. Probably when there's communication, the King of Cups has been harsh with his responses or with his participation in communication, because he feels like it's time to say that this is over, this is a done deal, whereas I feel like the Queen of Cups is trying to salvage the situation or see if there's anything left to work on. It may be in part, the Queen of Cups, you may be doing this because you want to make sure that A, there is nothing left, and B, that when you do get to a point where you're calling it quits, and when you're going through the court system or whatever it is you decide to do to bring this to a close, that everything's fair and square. So we have the Knight of Swords again, but this time in your underlying energy in the upright position. The Emperor in reverse. Knight of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles in reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse. This is clarifying the King's energy. I'm going to have to look at this person again because this is the first third party energy we've had on the table, and this is definitely not you. Strength. And Seven of Swords. Okay. I do feel, Cancer, that you may have a sense that there is some deceit or some lies or just some shady behavior going on. You've been trying to figure out if you can make things work with this king, but I think you might be dealing with some shady behavior. Seven of Swords. You know, this looked, well, I feel like there's a lack of communication, especially on the king's side, and it could potentially be, or you feel that it's because he's hiding something or keeping something from you. The Queen of Wands showed up in his energy. So I don't have the Three of Swords on the table. So I don't necessarily think that this is a third party situation where this person is having an affair, for example. But I do feel like this Queen of Wands is acting as is a meddler in the situation and is acting on behalf of this King of Cups. So this person might be influencing this King of Cups. He might be talking, this could be, you know, a friend or family member. I do not feel like it's another romantic partner. I do not feel like either one of you have anybody else on the side. Not in this reading. This is simply a case of a relationship gone bad. Loss of intimacy, loss of love, loss of emotion. I do feel like the Queen of Cups has tried to salvage this, see if there's anything worth saving. And I feel Queen of Cups, like you feel like this king is not telling the whole truth about something. He has someone in his corner, this Queen of Wands, who I feel, again, is someone who might be meddling or sticking her nose into the situation. This King of Cups may have asked her for some help or for some guidance because he has felt stuck in regards to the end of this relationship. Maybe worried about doing the wrong thing or taking the wrong course of action. Because again, if this is going to be one of those down and dirty divorces where there's a lot of potential assets to split up and that kind of thing, this is in your energy. You don't want to miss out on what you are entitled to by just letting it all go because you want to walk away too. I feel like you're more invested in making sure that if you are going to end this relationship, that everything is fair. Again, I'm just getting the feeling that this king has the sense like he just doesn't want to deal with stuff. He wants someone to take care of it for him. Because he's afraid of making a bad decision. He also may be resistant to communication because he feels like it might hurt him in some way. Like the more he talks, the more he might be facing repercussions of what he says. I don't know why. I'm just getting a sense that he doesn't want to deal with things. He doesn't want to work out things with you more than anything else. I don't feel like he wants to connect with you to make an attempt. I think there may have been a lot of fighting in regards to, again, intimacy. Just this relationship that broke apart in the sense that you two did not have that connection anymore. And I'm not just talking about not having a connection in the bedroom. I'm talking about not feeling connected, you know, as a partnership. Being friends, being companions, being able to talk to the person that you're with, in the way that you talk to a partner that you've been with for a long time because you trust them, because you respect that person. Okay, I don't normally take the cards when they fall out the way they did. So I'm not going to take this one, but it's the Three of Pentacles. And again, this is about working on things, planting the seeds, nurturing the partnership, making things work because you're willing to put in the effort. Again, that is probably your energy, Cancer, Queen of Cups, wanting to try to at least see if you can't make things work. I do feel like you probably at this point in time want this separation as much as this king, but at the same time, you were the one who had this energy of at least wanting to try to see if there's anything left, or to see if you can't fix things. Okay, let's get a Dreams of Gaia tarot card to end this reading. Some advice for Cancer, or something that will help Cancer make the next move, or the next step that they need to take in order to try. Again, we've got cards falling out. The Maiden. 2. This is probably representing you too also, Cancer. I'm not going to take this card, but the Maiden is someone who is a nurturing individual, who is ready to start something new, who's ready to make things happen, and someone who maybe wants a new start. That could also represent you just trying to work things out. But I think you have an understanding that it's not working out based on this King's response. And again, that this Queen of Wands is also influencing this King, so they've got someone in their ear talking to them about this relationship or how they should handle it. And that's probably working against you, Cancer. I don't know who this Queen of Wands is to. Could be a mother-in-law, dare I say. Who's talking in her son's ear about the situation. Okay, this card wanted to come out. 2. We have the 3 of Wands and masculine, feminine in reverse. Okay, I'm not going to read this card in reverse because I know the meaning of this. This card is about embracing your masculine and feminine side, and seeing that you can both, everybody has masculine and feminine energy, and there's a balance, and there's an understanding that we can take on the role of masculine or feminine energy. There's an imbalance in this relationship in regards to the roles that you are taking within the relationship in regards to your masculine and feminine roles. So there's an imbalance here with that. And then we have the 3 of Wands that came out in the upright position. So I'm going to read this one. They're both together too, especially a lot of fire. Dealing with a lot of heat. A lot of, action that needs to be taken. Probably a lot of emotions, maybe anger that you're dealing with. I mean, that's what I get when I see this kind of, I'm just looking at the colors. Heated emotions, a lot of heated emotions. So let me read the 3 of fire for you, Cancer, and then we'll bring this to a close. Come on, I'm usually really good about, there it is. I'm usually really good at popping up right away. Okay, here we go, and I will display it for you as I read. It's just about a half page. Do you have an idea or creative venture that you would like to implement? The 3 of fire represents the necessary sacrifice that may be required when we act on our goals and objectives. When we first begin to act, we often find ourselves exploring the paths walked by those who came before us in order to discover and determine the best way to implement our ideas. However, that same exploration can inspire new ideas that break with tradition because something old has been reimagined and expressed by a mind with a unique perspective to make it relevant in the present. To implement those new ideas requires sacrifice, commitment, and dedication. It means stepping away from what is tried and trusted, safe and secure, and stepping out into the unknown with an almost blind faith and commitment. It means putting the objective first and turning away from everything that distracts or might prevent it from being achieved. It means working hard and not cutting corners in order to speed up the process. It means knowing that what you have created will only equal what you have invested and what you are willing to invest. The 3 of fire lets you know that now is also a good time to explore and experiment on a practical level. Use your hands and mind to practice, hone, and refine your skills or abilities so that what you create and do will always be something crafted to the best of your abilities and be a true reflection of your passion and dedication. Remember also to avoid copying another's ideas because this is a time to be innovative. Create using your experience and imagination to inspire you instead of the vision and ideas of another. Honestly, what I got out of this card is a representation of what you're trying to do, Cancer, is frankly trying to see things in a different manner, maybe trying to make things work, or at the very least trying to I'm sorry about the bird squawking. She was out for Gemini's reading. She'd been squawking all morning. I was not willing to have her sit out here on my shoulder for your reading. Anyway, I'm going to finish this up because she's getting really loud. Anyway, Cancer, with these two cards coming out together, I'm thinking that this might be something that you are trying to communicate to this King of Cups. Like, maybe we need to try this a little differently. Maybe we need to switch roles. Maybe we need to be a little innovative in our own relationship and try things differently. Switch roles, try to look at things differently within the relationship. I believe that this represents what you've been working on, what you've been trying. I admire you for that, if that's what you've been working on, what you've been doing. Maybe this King of Cups will come around and you guys can at least work together to have a mutually satisfying closure of the relationship, if not a reconciliation, which I believe is what you're trying to do. But again, you know, this king may be being influenced by someone who's sitting on their shoulder saying, do it this way, do it this way, do it this way. And so this king is just not, again, not taking the initiative to think for himself right now. And he is in the throes of emotions and feeling angry about the situation. So it doesn't make for a good combination because he wants to throw his hands up and give up, and he's got someone who's willing to, you know, take the responsibility to make decisions for him. And that's unfortunate. So I wish the best for you, Cancer. I hope that this gave you some clarity. I hope that you got something out of this reading. I wish the best for you. I know this kind of situation is extremely difficult. So again, take care, and you're moving in the right direction. Based on what I see, you're taking some steps forward for yourself at the very least. I wish you all the best, and I hope that you join me again sometime. Bye, Cancer. Take care.